So let's continue with the SQL queries. Each Facebook user can designate a personal email address, business email address, and a recovery email address. Unfortunately, the table is currently in the wrong format. So you need to transform its structure to show the following columns. Like we need to show the user ID, personal email, business email, and recovery email. And sort your answer by user ID in ascending order. So if you have see, I have already created the record, created the table and inserted the data into that. So if you see, currently this table has all the detail, all the different type of email address into just one column. Like email column, in all these addresses, some addresses are personal email, then some are business, and some are recovery email address. But now, but now, what we require the data to be organized into this format. That it should be user ID, then one column for personal email, then one column for business email, and one column for recovery email. So from this data, we need to convert the result into this format. Now, now for that we need different columns, right? Different columns for each of the email type. So here we can write the case condition, case statement based on the email type. So suppose if, uh, or we can say that case when email type equal to personal. So here I have written select user ID, email type. Now for all these personal ID, business email, and recovery email, we need to write three different case statement. So case when email type equal to personal, then email, personal then email, or otherwise we do not require anything, right, in personal email. So otherwise it should be null. 1 minute. Okay, let's continue. So for that we need to write three different case statement. So case when email type equal to personal, then we have to write email, else null. Then again, case when email type, we have three different email type: personal, business, and recovery. So when business, then email, again we have to write. And then when email type equal to recovery, then email, because we require email column only, right? Everything is available in email column only. So else null. So this should be recovery email. Now, now let me execute this query. So if you see over here, we have all the columns are available now, but we have uh, null value in some of the uh, some of the rows in all the three columns, like personal email, business email, and recovery email. Because if you see over here, this has a email type is equal to business. So whenever email type is equal to business, only business email should have value, and all this personal and recovery should be null. And vice versa, when email type equal to personal, only personal will have a value, and other business email and recovery email will be null. So now what should we do? Now we need to retrieve maximum of this value in all the columns and group by user ID. So let me do that. I have already done that over here. Only one change is over here. We have written the maximum of each of the each of the email type, and then we have ended the, sorry, over here we have to end. So now maximum of email type is required to eliminate the null value. Now let me execute this query. Because we have written the max, we have to use the aggregate. We have to do group by. So now if you see over here, this will be our perfect output. Now let me compare this output with the original table. So if you see over here, user ID 123, user ID 123 is personal email address as well as business email as well as recovery email. So hello at the rate nixie.com. So that is a personal email. So if you see over here in user ID personal email hello at the rate nixie.com is available. Then nick at the rate datalemur.com is available, and in the business type, and then in the recovery email type ns2se at the rate virginia.edu is available. But now 234 has only personal email ID is available and business email ID also available. So 234 is personal and business ID is business email ID is available, and recovery email is null because it is not there in original table. And this 789 has only business email is there, which is available over here, and personal and recovery is null. So this should be our output. We have used the case when with aggregate function over here. So now let me know if you have any doubt in this query, or if you are clear, then you can write in the chat box or you can speak.
Yes, clear answer.
Okay. So let me jump to the next question. Okay. So assuming Salesforce operators on per user pricing model, we have a table containing contracts data. Write a query to calculate the average annual revenue per Salesforce customer in three market segments. So here we have total three different market segments are there: SMB, mid market, and enterprise. Each customer is represented by a single contract. Format the output to match the structure shown in the example output section below. So here they have given us some of the assumptions. So as when, as, when SMB when we consider any market segment as SMB, when it is less than 100 employees are there, and when 100 to 999 employees are there, we can consider as a mid market segment, and when greater than 1000 employees are there, we can consider as a big, large, or enterprise market segment. Now here they have given us the explanation. So this is let me select the data from the required tables. I have already created the tables. I will separately send you through the email all the scripts. So these are the contracts data is available and customers data is available. So in the customers table, if you see over here, employee count column is given. So when there is a less than 100, we can say that less than 100 employee count is there. It is a small, it is a small smart, or we can say that SMB market segment when there is a less than 100 employees. So if you see over here, customer ID 2690 has less than 100 employee count. So it is SMB market segment. Then main market segment 100 to 999. So this one 4520 and 78223 can be considered as a mid market segment. And then rest of the there rest of means this one and this one will be considered as a large, or we can say that enterprise market segment. Now I have copied this data into the Excel file. So now here they have given the explanation. This is a sample explanation only. So over here SMB market segment is only one customer ID is there and is classified as the only SMB customer in example data. They have a single contract with 50 seats and a yearly seat cost is $25. So here we need to multiply the $25 multiply by 50 seats, and we need to divide it by different number of customers they have, different number of customers they have. So if you see over here 25 multiply by 50, so 1250 divided by 1, so it will be 1250 only, right? So same as mid market segment and enterprise market segment, they have given us the value. Now let me show the data into the Excel file for. So now if you see over here 4520, sorry, we can start with 2690. 2690 has 999 employees. So it will be SMB, right? SMB market segment. So now we have two different tables. This is customers table and this is contracts table. And in both the table, customer and contracts table, customer ID column is common one. So now if you see over here, here there is only one customer which is 269 in the SMB group. 2690 is there, right? And now this 2690 we need to look up into the contracts table. So in the contracts table 2690 is coming two times, right? So now what we need to do as per the explanation they have given over here, as per the explanation they have given over here, we need to multiply the number of seats multiply by yearly seat cost. So that I have already done over here into this column. We have multiplied by 50 multiplied by yearly seat cost which is 1250, and then again we need to multiply 49 multiply by 25 which is 1250. Now what we need to do, we need to do the sum of these two columns we need to do sum of. So 1250 plus 1225. Okay, I need, so which is 2475, right? 2475. And now, how many number of distinct customers are there? Because we need to calculate the value based on the count of distinct customers in each of the different segments. So over here, if you see in the segment, only one customer is available in the SMB. How we can say that? Based on the employee count. So now 2450 should be our output for SMB. Now let me go to the mid market segment. So how we can consider the mid market segment? Whenever employee count is less than 999, right? So these two for mid market, 4520 and 7832. So these two will be mid market customers because it has less than 1000 employee count and greater than 100 employee count. So now we need to look up both of these value into the contracts table. So 4520 is available here and 7832 is available here. Now we need to go to the number of seats and yearly cost column. So these are the number of seats and yearly cost column. I have done the addition over here. Sorry, I have done the multiplication over here. So these four value, and now this we need to do sum of this four value. This one plus this one. Sorry, this one, this one plus this one plus this one plus this one. So 68,900, right? Now, how many distinct customers are there available in the mid market segment? That is two distinct segments, right? So we need to divide this value by 2. I think, okay, let me do it over here. This divided by 2. 3400, 450 should be our mid market answer. And now let me calculate for the large one or enterprise one. So if you see over here, enterprise. So 1000 greater than 1000 will be enterprise, right? Greater than 1000 will be our enterprise. So 2561, 2561 and 2352, 2352. These two will be our enterprise customers, and we need to look up 2561 and 2352 over here. So same thing I have done over here. So now we need to do addition of this one and this one, which I have already done. Eh, Let me do it over here again. This one plus this one plus this one plus this one. And now we need to divide it by 2. This one plus this one plus this one plus this one. Okay. So this should be our answer for the enterprise level. Now let me show you this in the SQL how I have done. So here if you see over here, this is the main table, customers table and contracts table, right? Customer table and contracts table. So now we need to, if you see over here, how we can consider the customers as a SMB customers whenever it has employee count less than 100, right? So that I have taken over here employee count less than 100. So if you see over here 2690, 2690 from this table will it has employee count less than 100. So we need to look up 2690 over here. So one time it is coming over here 50 multiplied by 20, and then one time it is coming over here 49 multiplied by 25. So that only thing I have done over here. So now we need to write a multiple city over here in this case. We need to write multiple city. So this city will be handling the first SMB. For SMB customers, this city will work where employee count less than 100. Now what we have to do? We have to do number of seats multiplied by yearly seat cost, and we need to do the sum of these values, right? Because in the Excel file we have done the sum of this value only. But this multiply by this multiply by this multiply by this, and then at the end we have done the sum of all these value over here and then divided by count of distinct customer ID in the respective market segment. So that is the only thing I have done over here. We have done the sum of number of seats multiplied by yearly seat cost divided by count of distinct customer ID in respective market segment. Then again, by writing the comma, again second city is mentioned over here. In that, employee count should be greater than or equal to 100 and less than 999. So at that time, it will consider as a mid-market customers. Mid-market customer segment. And when greater than 1000, then we will consider it as a large or enterprise market segment. Now, over here, group by is not required because we haven't specified any other column in the select statement apart from the aggregation column. So group by is not required over here in this case. Now we can individually execute all these three blocks. So 34450. That only I have mentioned over here, right? In the Excel file. 34450 for mid market, 10 for large enterprise, 131. That is only I have mentioned over here. We can ignore the point value because it is an integer column as of now. So we can ignore the point value. And for this one small SMB market segment 2475, which is I have already mentioned over here 2475. Now all these three city we can encapsulate, and then out of this city we can join by writing the comma condition. This we can say is a cross join. So now let me execute the data. So this will be our output less than 100, less than 999, and greater than 1000, more than 1000. This will be our result set final. So now let this is a concept of multiple city. We have already seen it many times, but one more time we have seen the concept of multiple cities. Now let me know if you have any query or you are clear. You can write in the chat box as well. This question is clear, guy, right? Question and explanation. I will send you in the email after completion of the class. You can create the table and do practice. So let me jump to the next question if you have no doubt. So this is very interesting question. Year over year growth. It is related to year over year growth. So assume you are given a table containing information about Wayfair's user transaction for different products. Write a query to calculate the year on year growth rate for the total spend of each product, grouping the results by product ID. The output should include the year in ascending order: product ID, current year spent, previous previous year spent, a year on year growth percentage, round to two decimal places. So here they have given us the table user underscore transactions table. In that transaction ID, product ID, spend, and transaction date column are there. I have already inserted the data. Now let me select the data from the user underscore transactions table. So if you see over here, different transaction IDs are there in the table, which is unique one. Now different products IDs are mentioned, so which is repeated one, right? Because if you see over here, by different product ID, by different year, they have spent some amount. So if you see over here in the transaction date 2019, they have spent some amount. Okay, to 2020 they have spent some amount for 1 2 3 4 2 4 product ID. Then again for the same product ID in 2021 they have spent some amount, and 2022 they have spent some amount. So all this distinct product ID, they have spent some amount in 2019, 2020, 2021, and 2022. So from this data, we need to identify year over year growth for all these product ID. Now, how can we calculate the year over year growth? So this will be the very famous question in the Power BI as well. In the Power BI also, by writing the DAX function, we are calculating the year over year growth. So formula will be the same in Power BI as well as in SQL. So current years I have written over the from formula over here. Current year sales minus previous year sales divided by previous year sales multiplied by 100. So this is the standard formula whether it is in Power BI or in SQL. To calculate the year over year, first take your current year's revenue and subtract the previous year's revenue. This gives you the total change in revenue. Then take the amount and divide it by last year's total revenue. So that is only I have written over here. We need to divide the previous year sales and then take this sum and multiply it by 100 to get your year over year percentage. Now at the end we need to multiply it by 100. Now let me show you the data. So I these are the data transaction date wise different spend. Now what I have done over here that is important. So from the entire transaction date I have taken the year of transaction date only because that is my requirement. I need to find year over year growth. 2029, how much from 2029 to 2020, how much spent has been done in different products ID. Now, for that purpose, year of transaction date I have taken over here, then product ID, then spend. So, this normal spend will be the current year spend. Oh, sorry, this spend will be the current year spend. Now, to find the previous year spend, we need to use the lag function. So lead and lead are the different analytical functions in SQL, or you can say the relational function. This will give us the previous year's spend on the different product. Sorry, on the same product, right? So leg, then I have write the spend over here. Spend of one because I need only next year spend only. I don't need to do jump to 2 years or 3 years, right? That's why I've written over here one over partition by product ID because we have similar product ID is given in 2019, 20, 21, 22. Then again, this product ID has records for 2019, 20, 21, and 22. So that's why whichever column is repeated values, we have to do partition by that particular column. So that I have done partition by product ID. Now order by we need to do the transaction date because I need to identify year over year spent. So that order by year of transaction date. So this will be whenever you use the lag function, it will give us the previous year value, previous year sales or previous year profit like that. Previous year data lag. And whenever we want to use next year data or we want next year sales or next year profit like that, then we are using lead function. But now our requirement is previous year sales, right? So we have used the lag function. Now what we need to do? Now we need to go to this formula. We need to go to this formula, this one. So that I am writing it over here. Now what this formula said? Current year sales. So here we need current year spend. So this spend will be the current year spend, right? This spend will be the current year spend. So that I have written over here spend. Now minus previous year spend. So this entire thing I have written over here in the minus part. Minus previous year spend. Current year spend minus previous year spend divided by previous year spend. So again this same thing I have written over here after division divided by previous year spend. Now what we need to do? Only one thing is pending. We need to calculate everything which multiply by 100, right? So let me write this entire thing, or okay, let me now try to execute this entire thing. Okay, this is the result of multiply by 100. So this is the actually the result. Current year spent, current year spent. So this is the 2019. For we do not have previous year sale, means 2018 sale is not available, right? So it will be showing over here null. It will be showing over here null. Now in the 2020 current year sale is 1000, previous year sale is 1560, which is of 2019 sale, right? So current year sales is 1000. Let me write it over here. Minus previous year sales, minus previous year sales divided by previous year sales multiply by 100. So this is our result, right? Again result, or if we see over here, this 33.35, what I have, it is given us the rounding value because we have used the round function, right? So this will be our final result set year over year growth rate. Now let me know, are you guys clear with this approach? In Power BI also we can, I think Power BI has some inbuilt functions are there in the DAX part. So that we can use it over there, the inbuilt functions. But in SQL, we can find it with the lag function. We need to first find the current year cell, so which is already given in the table, right? But to identify the previous year cell, there is a formula is like this one: current year sale minus previous year sale divided by previous year sales multiply by 100. So that thing we have done over here only, right? current year spent is the current year sale. Then minus lag function we have used to identify the previous year sales partition by product ID, right? So we have not done the over here descending function. So it is giving us the exact output. If we have write the order by year date descending, then it will not give us the proper output. The current year sale minus previous year sale divided by previous year sale. So again we have used this entire function, entire leg function over here, and then multiply by 100 and rounding to two decimal places. This will be our output. So now let me know, are you guys clear with this approach? You can write in the chat message. Or if you have any doubt, you can speak over here. If there is no doubt, we can move ahead. Okay, thanks. So let me jump to the next query. So in an effort to identify high value customers, Amazon asks for your help to obtain data about users who go on shopping sprees. List the user IDs who have gone on at least one shopping spree in ascending order. So here they have given us the data, create table, transactions table. Uh, I already created the table, user ID, amount and purchase date columns are given. So if you see the data here, I have sorted it by user ID. So user ID 1 has purchased the two purchase on the two different dates, right? User ID 1 has purchased on the two different date. Actually here one thing is missing. Actually two different purchase has been done within the 2 days of the transaction date, purchase date, within the 2 days of the 2 days of the purchase date. So if you see over here, there are the purchase date of user ID 1 is 1st August and then 17th August. So this will not qualify, right? Now if you see over here, user ID 2 has done three different purchases on 5, 6 and 7, and their first purchase and the last purchase is happened on the within the 2 days, right? Within the 2 days. So it will be considered in our output. User ID 2. Let me write it over, copy it over here. Then user ID 3 is only single purchase. So 3 and 4 will not be considered. 4 has only single purchase and 5 again 28, 29 and 30. So 5, this value will also be considered because this 5 and 2 both have done purchases is in within the next 2 days, right? Next 2 days. So how we can consider that thing over here? So this is a simple one. I have solved it with two different methods. So here I have only one column is there, right? Purchase date column is there in the original table. So here I need to find the maximum of purchase date and minimum of purchase date, and then I have to subtract the maximum of purchase date. I have to do minus minimum of purchase date, and then I have to see the difference should be 2 only, right? Because if you see over here 5 and 7, so 7 minus 5 will be 2. Again over here 28 and 30, so 30 minus 5, sorry, 30 minus 28 will be 2. This will be our max of purchase date for user ID 5, and this will be minimum of purchase date for user ID 5. Same thing over here, maximum of purchase date for user ID 2, and this will be minimum of purchase date for user ID 2. So now if you see over here, user ID 1, maximum date is 17th August and minimum date is 1 August. And the difference between maximum and minimum date is 16. So this will be not considered, right? Now this has done the on the same date. So only I think only one transaction is there, right? For user ID 3 and user ID 4 has only single transaction. Because of that, maximum of purchase date and minimum of purchase date is same. And there is no difference, zero difference, right? So this again 1, 3 and 4 will be not considered. Now see the result of 2 and 5. So 2 has 7th August and 5 as maximum purchase date, and 2 has 5th August as the minimum of purchase date. And the difference is exactly 2, right? I have write it over here. Maximum of purchase date minus minimum purchase date. So here first I have taken the date part and I have choose the day column only. So day will be 7 over here, and over here day will be 5, right? So 7 minus 5 it will be 2, and again over here 30 minus 28 it will be 2. So now in this diff value, I in this diff column I require only 2, where it is a 2, right? So now if I execute this one, let me first select everything. So these are the result, right? Now what is my requirement? My requirement is to identify the distinct user IDs, distinct user IDs who have purchased. So I just need to select the, in place of star I need to write distinct user ID. So 2 and 5 are the distinct user ID which I have already shown over here, who have purchased three or more items on the three or sorry, who have purchased on 3 or more consecutive days, 5, 6 and 7, and this one is purchased on 28, 29 and 30. So clear guys, this solution and question. If there is any doubt you can ask in the chat box, otherwise you can speak over here.
Yeah, Harshit, no doubt. Clear. Any.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, welcome.
So now let me see the final query for today. As a data analyst at Uber, it's your job to report the latest metrics for specific group of Uber users. So some riders create their Uber account the same day they book their first ride, and the rider engagement team calls them in the moment users, right? And Uber wants to know the average delay between the day of user sign up and the day of their second ride. Write a query to pull the average second ride delay for in the moment Uber users round the answer to two decimal places. So actually here they have given us the two different tables, users table and rights table. So in the users table, user ID and registration date is there. And in the rights table, right ID, user ID and right date will be there. So some of the users have done the registration. Some of the users had done the right on the same date when they have done the registration. So if you see in the users table and rights table, some day some dates will be users table and rights table. Some user has done the ride on the same date. They have done the registration. So that will be called as a in the moment user. So if you see over here for ride ID 1, ride ID 1 has done the registration on 15th August and he has done the first ride on the 15th August only, right? And second ride he has done on the 16th August. Now for user ID 2, okay, user ID 2 has registered on the 21st August, but he has done the first ride on the 20th September. So this user ID 2 is not in the moment user. But now we want second ride, second ride also to identify the second ride delay, right? So because of that, so that what I have done over here in the first city, I have identified those user who have done the ride on the same date they have done the registration. So these four users have done the ride on the same day they have registered. Now this will be considered as a in the moment users table, right? Moment user means in the moment user table this city will be considered as that one. Now this will be our second city. Again we are using the lag function. So over here we need to identify, we need to find the second right delay, right? So over here leg of right date partition by user, because in the rise table multiple one user has done the multiple rise, right? So that user id is repeating over here in the rise table. So partition by user id and order by right date. So that will be our leg right date, right? Now we need to identify the difference between the leg right date and right date. So this will be our right date and this will be our leg right date, which has been calculated with the use of leg function. So now this will become our second city. This will be our second city, right? This is the first right date, and this is the second right date. Now over here we have calculated the difference between the second right and first right into the days, and we need average delay, right? Average delay in the second right. Average delay in the second right, so that we have used the average function over here, and then we want to identify the result into the two decimal places. Because of that we have done the cast of decimal by 5 comma 2. So let me execute this query. 0.67, this will be the average delay, because we want the result into the two decimal places, right? Round the answer to two decimal places. And here if you see over here, moment users are there, right? So moment users as users. So above city has been written over here, and then original table we have joined it with the left join, and we have user id will be there in the both the tables. That will be common column. So only that users will be joined over here, which has in the moment user. That is why we have taken over here the right date column. So this will be right date will indicate the all those users who have done the right on the registration date. This indicates all the users who has done the right on the registration date, which means in the moment users. And now this will be indicating the second ride. This, or we can say that this will be indicating the second ride of all the users after the first ride. Now, now we have simply done over here. Leg right date use over here, and right date will be used over here. We have done, calculate the difference between these two rights into the day value, and then we have done the average of this all this difference, and then we have done the casting to two decimal places. Now let me know, guys, this question is clear. Question and solution is clear. So these kind of scenarios you may come across in your day-to-day work very frequently while working as a data analyst or data engineer mainly, or SQL developer also.